guys, it's Abby again, and we're going to read Chapter 2 of The Secret Soldier, The Story of Deborah Sampson by Anne McGowan. A family again. A family. A laughing, loving, crying, hugging family. Deborah had almost forgotten what a family was. But the Thomas family was not her family. She knew what it was to be in the Thomas household, a servant. And she knew she would have to be a servant for 10 years. That was the agreement. Deacon Thomas would give her a place to stay, food to eat, and clothes to wear. Deborah knew she would have to work hard for 10 years. 10 years, a long time. What will I be like in 10 years, she wondered. 10 years from now, and too far away to think about. Better think about right now. At least she had her own little room, above the kitchen in the loft upstairs. There was plenty to do right now, and Miss Thomas had 4 lively little boys for her to look after. She dressed the youngest, fed them, and told them stories. She helped them with every job in the house and in the barn. She swept, cleaned, cooked, carried the wood, and brought in the water. The family was so lively, and Deborah was kept so busy that soon she forgot about the lonely long days in Miss Thatcher's house. There was so much to do. Deborah hardly had a moment to herself. She had no time to do what she liked best, reading. In those days, people did not think it was important for girls to read. Some people thought too much reading gave girls' brains fever. Deacon Thomas and his wife thought all a girl had to learn was how to work well. Deborah was a good worker. She grew strong as she milked the cows, fed the pigs, and tended the chicken. She learned how to harness the family horse, and she rode the horse to the village on errands. She helped plow the fields. When it looked like rain, she raked up all the hay stored neatly inside the barn. She learned how to make things she needed: a basket, a sled, a milking stool. Deborah taught the 3 oldest boys how to read. So when summer came, they were ready to go to summer school in the village. School started at 6:30 in the morning and lasted 2.5 hours. Then the boys came home to do their share of work. Late in the afternoon, they went back to school. Deborah would stand at the window and watch the boys run, laughing down the road. If only I could go with them, she thought. When the boys came home, she begged them to teach her what they had learned that day. But they didn't want to talk about school or learning. They only wanted to wrestle with her and tease her. There's a picture. The Thomas children thought Deborah was odd, even a little crazy. Why did she care so much about school? Why did she ask so many questions? How do flowers and vegetables grow, and why? What are the stars made of? How far away are they? What makes the sun set and the moon rise? Deborah often got up before the sun rose, climbed to the top of a nearby hill, and watched the sky light in the day. Deborah begged the Thomases to let her go to school sometimes, but there was always too much work to do. There was a new baby in the house, and now another on the way. She couldn't be spared. So Deborah borrowed the children's school books at night in her little room above the kitchen. She read until her candle flickered out. She practiced writing with a pen. She made herself from goose feathers. She dipped the pen in homemade ink and wrote on a piece of bark from a birch tree. She started writing in a diary, a book which she wrote down her good and her bad thoughts and deeds. On the right-handed pages, she wrote down all the good thoughts and good things she had done. On the left-handed page, she wrote down all the things she thought as bad. The left-handed page was filled up first. Mr. Thomas had to say to her often, "I wish you wouldn't spend so much time scribbling." The one lesson Mr. Thomas thought all his children should learn: how to use money wisely. Every child in the family was given some lambs to raise and sell. They were allowed to keep the money and buy something useful. Deacon Thomas let Deborah have some lambs too. She took good care of her flock and got a good price for them. It was the first time she ever had money of her own. She owned it herself and had a good feeling. Carefully, she wrapped up the money in a handkerchief and put it away. Thanks for watching today. Tune back in tomorrow for A Country in Trouble. Bye!